RTD Live Talk, Detroit's number one late night YouTube talk show. We are live for a Thursday night live stream, the 14th day of the month of January. Excited to be back and looking forward to connecting and sharing my thoughts on the American Rescue Plan. Just a initial down payment for the much bigger plan that's coming in February. We'll get more of that information revealed once the entire presidential. But anyway, we're going to talk about that as well, as I'm curious to get your thoughts on all this subject matter, as well as a variety of other things as well. So welcome to the live stream. As always, feel free to let me know where you're watching from via the chat room. And then when it's time to open the phone lines, we'll love to hear from you. And then also, I've noticed, and it's about the glitching from the live stream. And so it's assuming it's a software issue. So it's something I'll have to address when I have the time to dig time. I think the audio still works. And so we'll try our best to make it function as best as we can and keep it moving around. Side I can change last minute. So I probably can't. So yeah, as I mentioned, just a software issue. So beyond my control as of now, but let's talk about it, people. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope everyone is well. Feel free to let me know where you're watching from. We got Pabar in the building. And it says, when are the people going to get up a bar? Yeah, we're beyond the point of no return, and we've already entered in patterns to where I don't know, if trillions, if you even see trillions, it's going to do much for you. And so I'm really concerned with these current. Once again, he's been very vague and avoiding coming out with true details, and he's waiting till everything is official of him actually being. And he starts giving us real figures. So everything we're hearing now on the surface is just the preliminary talks of stuff we already kind of knew about. But yeah, be careful what you wish for those trillions. I don't think. We got the New York Redneck, Excalibur, Jim Diggs. We got Rolf. We got Robert Solo in the building. Everybody tuning in. Fair amount of people here. And so, yeah, I apologize for the glitchiness as I'm watching myself on the other screen. I see the glitches occurring. So I'll see what I can do. And so let's dive right into it. And so I think the primary subject matter for the today, as well as what we're going to be, is the idea of permanent stimulation, as if that's going to be the answer for economic woes, as well as all the pain and suffering happening within our economy from all the dangers and the damages. And of course, they're saying that, more relief is needed, more relief. And of course, if you look beyond all the things we're being told, if you look at the global efforts by all the central banks as well as governments, they're all trying to literally ground by literally printing and creating as much funding as needed to destroy the currency ultimately. And the best way to do that is there's something in it for them in the form of stimulus checks or aid or suspension of your mortgage payments or all those things that they're so-called lighten the load from the American people. But it's all a trap, man. It's all a trap. And we're going to get into that. So here is the very first thing I want to tell. And so I actually watched a little bit of his presentation. And, he's once again, I get so tired of hearing the same politicians say the same thing over and over again, but that's just what is on a teleprompter in front of him. So he has to try to stick to that script. But he laid out his whole little plan as to how they're basically going to just pump 1.9 trillion into the economy. And he started off by talking about how much pain and suffering out there, families and moms and dads and everybody can't do this and can't do that. They need help. And so he says, we're being sensitive as you speak. Much love. Agent, appreciate you, my man. Yeah, so as I mentioned, glitchiness in the software, I don't know. I'll try to find out more about it, but I think the audio works well. But anyway, so laid out a case as to why trillions are needed. And just in a nutshell, for those that may not have a chance to find out the full details, I'll put up a little snapshot here of what's all on the surface. And of course, as always, if you were to actually read through that plan in greater detail, similar to the actual relief bill that was just passed, it's going to be floated with all types of extra pork and all types of extra funding and go to all types of governments. And we'll see if Congress actually gives some pushback, whether it be the Senate or the House, as far as them allowing it to go through or not. But on the surface, $1,400 payment. So you get the second half of that initial down payment as a part of this whole relief for American families, assuming that 2000 will do something. And of course, the increase of unemployment. We got the increase in the federal minimum wage, which is going to be a major issue because not only have we seen the rollout of the $15 minimum wage over the last couple years from different states. The bad part about what they don't tell people is that anybody who owns a business, it's going to be hard to offer your workers more monies at the same time that your business is not as profitable. And depending on what sector you're in, more than likely you're operating at probably 50% or half speed. So, which means that, it's going to be more business closures. And of course, the extended eviction and foreclosure pauses. So once again, you can kick the can down the road. You can pause as much as you want and try to subsidize, landowners as well as anybody else that might be losing out. But when all this is let up, what does that basically mean? There's going to be buku houses lost because all that past debt will be owed. And who's going to have the funds to pay that? I'm not sure. 170 billion for schools, 300 billion for state aid, 50 billion for the testing, 20 billion for the vaccine program. So as I was listening to his whole spiel on the actual details of everything this bill contains, it's all about the testing, the tracking, and the tracing. And that's what all this is about on the surface. So all this funny currency, this confetti currency they're going to create out of nowhere is designed to fund any and every way they can, as he said, to get jabs and arms. And so a part of his 100-day span is to get 1 million jabs across the country. So we'll see how that process goes of getting 100 million jabs into arms, considering that there's a half of the population, a portion of the Trump supporters and those on the patriotic side of things, they're not going for that. So at some point, those individuals that are labeled as supporters of the older president will be labeled as extremists, radicalists, and fear mongers and whatever other names they're going to throw out there, because a part of the funding goes towards the campaigning of different types of propaganda to get people to get that jab in the arm. Kind of what's on the surface. But one thing he did say in his little spiel was that the American Rescue Plan is just the beginning. And he said once he's confirmed and everything moves forward, he's going to roll out the Build Back Better plan. And that right there, he gave, has more details as to what is really inside of all this this relief to build back our economy better. And so if it's 1.9 trillion is, as he said a couple of weeks ago, is a down payment, imagine in the Build Back Better plan and different phases, of course. So we could easily be looking at, 5-6 trillion of known expenditures, not to mention all the other expenditures that's happening in the banking world, as with the central banks and all the other stuff of funding the government. And on top of that, whatever the agreement will be when they change the Federal Reserve Charter to incorporate the MMT policies officially into it. So we're for this year, and it's all going to be done in a way where it's designed to help, but yet it's really destroying. Just like the video I did earlier about just the stealth tax. So the deficits, the greater the pinch and pain on the hidden tax that we're not being told is existing through the diluting of the currency. Taxes are going to go up. So they diluting the currency and they're going to charge you more for existing. It's just, it doesn't really, I'm not sure than that. But anyway, yeah. So for those tuning in, I see some comments about the jerkiness and the audio. I apologize. It's beyond my control. It's I'll work on it. But other than that, I might have to switch up formats or something. But we'll keep it moving. So anyway, enough of me ranting. Got a couple more things here I want to talk about. And then I open up the phones. But one thing I want to mention that is not getting that much attention happens to be who's deciding to take advantage of all the fire sales that's going on. And of course, it's Mr. Gates. He says America's biggest owner of farmland is now Bill Gates. So as of now, while all this chaos is happening, all those that are part of the big tech, big pharma, military industrial complex sector, they're reaping the rewards of a locked down economy. And we got Mr. Gates out here. He's basically buying up every single land out here. Now, the question is, what is he going to do with that land? More than likely, he's not going to recycle that land to make it productive for food. He's probably going to be shutting down all types of farmland across the country, intentionally create of a dire strait and a dire situation for the food supply in this country. And then, of course, that's the whole part of the, that's part of the whole Build Back Better as well as the world, the Great Reset agenda. Agriculture and food is on that map that they gave us of things they want to control. So they're planning artificially Monsanto-based food productions, which is not good for the human body. But that's what Mr. Bill Gates is up to. And Microsoft, Salesforce, and Oracle back plan to develop a digital passport. And so again, we knew about beforehand, but when it makes itself to the mainstream news sources, it lets me know that it's already done. Now they're waiting on Biden to get in there. And so this here can be rolled out, definitely before the end of this year, because, the goal, in my opinion, is to have as many jabs and arms for summer so that heading into the second half of the year, they can start rolling out stuff like this during the peak travel season, of course, make it very for a lot of people. So yeah, just more news of what's really going on out there. And this plays into more of why this is all interconnected to what, and it is modeled after the Asian / Xi Jinping, the Chinese way of life. And it happens to be with stuff like this. Beijing requires car hailing passengers to scan health codes to curb driver infection rates. So if you do anything out in the public atmosphere, you're going to have a QR code on your phone to show that you are a part of the global agenda, in a sense. And so, all that news there is not scary news. It's just going on, and it's how all this is one big orchestrated event to lead us towards that one world government. And so it's, man, but anyway, we're going to keep moving, pressing along, man, because as always, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. And so with all this, new creative ways of going above and beyond all these government mandated things, to where from this, I think there's going to be a lot of and benefit humanity in a very productive way. But anyway, let's keep moving. So let's talk. Phone lines are open, man. I can rant forever. I got another article or two, but I'll give me a call. 313-462-0027. Want to hear your thoughts on the American Rescue Plan, as well as the Build Back Better plan, or whatever else mind. Curious to find out. And then I'll read in the chat here. It says, Nathaniel says, we are in the beginning of the episode 7 of Mike Maloney's Hidden Truths of Money. So as the Treasury Secretary at that episode, weird but accurate production. Very true. Yeah, the Hidden Secret of Money series definitely helping me further my understanding of monetary history. And that's kind of how I pegged the whole concept of the importance, because unfortunately, we're still mistaking the words money and currency as if they're the same, and they're not. And so that's we can talk about that more. But hello, Paul.
Yeah, Mike, Steve, Beamer Region 9.
How you doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
Doing bad. Not bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. Basically, I think we were talking about a video. Couldn't think of the name of it while I had you on the phone for your emails. But I dropped 2 of them in your email, probably about 15 minutes ago. And the one about the from Band.video was customs detaining orders.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
Yeah, I got that one. I put it up.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I put it up on a community page. Yep, just a moment ago.
Oh, okay. And the other one was that Andrea Pitzer interview. They go through the FEMA camps and how easy they are to set up and how they get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Hopefully you can get her on your show at some point. Were you able to reach out to her? Or?
I was not as of now. I wrote it down, but I didn't get a chance to get to it. But that email definitely helps, because I got a chance to get caught up to speed, and I'll have something in my inbox, so I can do that.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, and like I said, that second that interview, she see the history of camps,
yeah,
and then how easy they are to be taken advantage of.
yeah.
But hopefully you can reach out to your show. Aside from that, man, I think the camps that's something that everybody should be concerned about.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
And
So
get whatever FEMA region you're getting to before it's too late.
Yeah, yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you calling and sharing that insights, my friend.
Take care.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff, man. So yeah, if you go to the community page, you'll see that video that I just put up there. And so yeah, those are all things. I see comments about the glitching, and as I mentioned before, it's a software issue that I'm not able to do anything on my end. So I'll try to address it or use a different software. But as long as the audio is working, hopefully everything's fine. Hello, Carlos. Where are you calling from?
All right. Steve from Jersey.
Steve, how you doing, my friend?
Mike?
I'm doing well. What's on your mind tonight?
Good, man. Big crypto guy, but I want to throw you out something for the big gold people, which I am too. But
okay.
I'll read a quote from somebody, and I'm sure you'll enjoy this.
Okay.
The quote is: "Central banks stand ready to lease gold in increasing quantities should the price rise." Alan Greenspan, former Federal Reserve Chairman, July 1998.
Yeah, and that's when, and so as a result of that, that was definitely before my time and awareness of the whole monetary system. But that's when they ended up getting gold down. So I think it was $250 an ounce, and it stayed relatively flat until the .com crash.
So basically, the only reason gold is not really performing like Bitcoin is because they have paper, and the COMEX market has so much that if something went wrong and they had to actually deliver the actual gold, there's not enough gold actually. And if you look on the site for the national debt on the corner right hand side, it'll show you that 88 pieces of paper for one gold. So it's telling you on the debt form that how much paper in relationship to the actual true gold. So that's really why these gold prices are not being performed, because the central banks, the biggest Ponzi scheme in relationship with the COMEX markets, they're all manipulating the gold price so it can never rise because of the paper. So the reason why Bitcoin is rising so much, there's a limited supply. So they have gotten the ability to actually manipulate Bitcoin. But that's why the gold prices are not really going like they should, because of all these COMEX paper that exists, but not really any gold to back it.
Right.
So just to give you a heads up, if you look on the corner right-hand side, it tells you that.
Yeah, I got it on the screen now. Appreciate you, man.
All right.
Yep.
Enjoy your night.
Bye. Yeah, good stuff, man. So this website here does a great job of depicting what the true financial state of our country, as well as all the other manipulative products they put in circulation. So paper to gold ratio now 88.46 to 1, and silver is 187.39 to 1, which means for every ounce of paper there's 187 contracts. And I think within a contract for silver, I want to, if I'm not mistaken, it's 1,000 ounces, I think. And I think for gold, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but those are a lot of contracts basically that are supposed to be claims on 1 ounce of anything, which means, they've done a good job over the last 100 years of creating more than enough financial products to rig the price of pretty much everything, especially when they turn gold and silver from money into a commodity, and it went on the COMEX to be traded in the form of paper. So that was a manipulation there. But here's the thing with the cryptocurrency space. I think that with the them inventing like future contracts and stuff like that for Bitcoin, and trying to do Ethereum next, I think coming up pretty soon, they're trying to make it a financially investable for the big wigs, but also that dilutes and distorts, because you once again, you're creating the paper game for that entity as well. So Yeah, man, good stuff. Good stuff. What do we got here in the chat? Feel free to ask some questions or some thoughts. Natural Mother, I appreciate you for putting the link. Anyway, let's talk. Can manipulate BTC. Yeah, so worldwide emergency. The Tether situation, I think, will be very telling. As I mentioned before, one of my concerns was that, depending on the direction of what they do with Tether when they do that investigation stuff, we'll see how that impacts the markets in the short run. But it won't hurt. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hi, it's Typo from Massachusetts. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Typo, how you doing?
Good, thanks. Hey, you were just mentioning Bitcoin's price and fluctuation, and I'm just wondering, have you ever had any flow through about a new blockchain system coming on board that is real to you, or any keywords for searching?
Centrally controlled through the government or what? Because there's blockchains coming into existence every day from all types of people around the world. So anything particular you're referring to?
I'm looking for a blockchain that would run parallel to the Bitcoin system.
Parallel. So other than only thing I'm familiar with are the layer 2 solutions. So there's different projects out there designed to tag along with, but yet it's more on a decentralized nature. So I'm in specific. But you know of anything?
I'm telling you, I have my head on a swivel. What the keywords are for Russell J. Gould's quantum system that he talks as an alternative to Bitcoin. And the only reason I'm doing that is so that just like the prepare for Biden, I hope Trump wins, just like that. But that, for me personally, that's where I stand. I prepare for Biden, I hope for Trump.
Yeah, understandable.
In the same way. Huh?
No. I was just looking at that Russell J. Gould's quantum computer.
Quantum financial system. So if anyone happens to hear this and know some keywords that begin the process, or some really good researchers, could you drop the name in the chat so I can drop the line? And Mike, thank you so much. You're awesome.
Appreciate it.
I'm feeling a very strong urge to East Coast. Haven't moved on it yet, but thinking about it and just keeping up prep. So good luck with everything.
Sure.
Listening eagerly to your information. Grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you for calling in.
Okay, ciao.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Appreciate the quantum. So I looked that up, and other than seeing, I see. So, okay, here's something in regards to that I'm just coming across. It has to do with the Jasara Nasara, it looks like. So this is just Jasara.news, and it talks about quantum banking system. And so once again, that this falls in line with the idea of there being a new monetary system rolled out that's beneficial for humanity, of which, I'll hold my comments and thoughts on that until I actually see it, just because I think a lot of this was designed to distract us and give a sense of false hope. So I personally into it, but that's just my 2 cents there. But we do have people out there who believe in the Jasara Nasara situation. So hopefully it works out. But if not, hopefully, you got your own weight, and so you don't wait on the government to give you any type of allowance. Anything that comes from a centrally controlled source won't be your full worth or full value. You won't get full value. A pipe dream. Tony B says, what about Reggie Middleton? Yeah, so Reggie Middleton, he's been relatively quiet on the Twitters, but other than just him having given more than enough information on the banking sector and the true health and the lies been given too big to fail banks. So he's basically, last time the video he posted was talking about how the losses the banks are taking will be catastrophic and real hitch or glitch to the system. So it's going to bring things down, I believe. Natural Mama says, I think the jab is like the crypto. You take it, you'll earn good say condition. If everyone would stop playing both games, it would be the end for the evil. Not your mother. Good point. Good point. And I was thinking about I was listening to talk about their concerns, on how the blockchain digital asset space is starting to it's ways as far as getting a lot of people excited. Like I do follow a variety of cryptocurrency individuals to keep up on all the things, but every single cryptocurrency focused news source or YouTube commentator or whatever, they're focusing on and all-time highs. And of course Bitcoin is whatever, it's 40,000 whatever, but I'm thinking like those people are they're those space, that's their channel. Cool. But I'm thinking like, once we get to $100,000 Bitcoin, do you also know what else we're going to be in real world as far as the stuff I talked about earlier with having to have passports to leave your house and having to do all types of crazy things that you like, will you really be able to enjoy much of life when Bitcoin reaches its next all-time high? And that's where I'm like, what's freedom and just the opportunity of having choice to do what you want, or having big gains in your pocketbooks, but you're still limited to what you can do. Like unless you have a problem with getting a jab and getting the QR codes and all that stuff like that. And so if that's something that, doesn't bother you, then, rock on. But I'm thinking like, you can't have two. You can't benefit at the crumbling of the system, but also live free from the system. It's going to be an intermingling thing, which, yeah, that's so much concern about, what the price of metals down the line, because I know it's going to do good, but what can I do with them? Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
From Chicago.
How you doing, my man? What's on your mind tonight?
Hey, Mike, man. Man, you know what? I think people, man, again, I was a silver bug, man. Got a little gold too. But I really think that, these last couple of weeks, really, I really sat down. I watched Michael Saylor, man. He's gonna be the dude that, he flips the switch in your head, man. Like seriously, like for those who don't have Bitcoin yet, it's because and again, I always heard that and it sounded like some cold shit. Like before, I'm like, that just sounds like stuff that's like drinking Kool-Aid stuff. Like nah, but again, standard too.
Yeah,
if you read that book, man, and you start listening to Michael Saylor, because Michael Saylor too, you have to be intelligent to understand his comedy.
Yeah,
because
he goes way out there sometimes. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing?
Analogies are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, but it makes you think like, duh, what am I doing? And it gives you that thing where it's like, I understand now, man. So between reading that book and Michael Saylor interviews, man, anybody, man, who understands, because again, I still got some because I want to have some. It might be like one of them things, but like a novelty item. But honestly, man, I think the Bitcoin's a black hole, gonna suck up everything, all of it, including the precious metals, man.
Yeah.
I really believe that, Mike.
And that's why Christine Lagarde came out yesterday doing her little press, talking about regulation. And so, of course, you got all these billionaires now talking about, getting out of the system. They're talking about the dollar's dying, this currencies are dying, don't us to oblivion, get into Bitcoin. And so, of course, now the central bankers are like, okay, go ahead, continue to promote that, but yet we want our cut. And it turns me is that when they really truly show their colors when it comes to how they're going to regulate it, they're going to probably create a whole nother level of taxation just in a way that will probably eat away at a lot of those gains, to where it's going to put you on the fence of whether or not you're going to be a law-abiding citizen, or you're trying to hide and run, because they can see everything you do on a ledger. So, what I'm saying, like, once again, how much will you be able to enjoy those of the day?
I tell you what though, Mike, I thought about that too. But I tell you what, Michael Saylor, like one of his analogies is this, okay? It really breaks down to this, okay? Okay, no Bitcoin, but it's not gonna be no money anyway. It's gonna be in the streets anyway. It's pretty soon it'll be worthless anyway. So you cannot get in now. Yeah. You can get in, okay. You wanna get in $10? No, okay. You wanna get in $20? No. But at the same time, the dollar's dropping anyway to stay the whole time. You can get in at a higher price if you want to. Your capital, more your monetary energy to get in, or you can get in now when it's hovering around 40,000 before this next jump. We know we know it's a pattern, man, in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the other thing about it. It's like really not volatile. It's really just like some different stuff. We just not to that. You know what I mean? Once you used to you company account. So like Michael said, the savings account used 100%. You can't beat that shit.
Yeah. Good stuff, man. I appreciate you.
And when the time comes to it, Mike, people be able to borrow collateral. You borrow collateral against your BTC.
Oh, and that's what's gonna boil down to, because you be a fool to try to spend it when they're gonna tax the hell out of it. So you go and borrow. That's why I like those. It's gonna be so much new technology being spun off of this sector to where it's gonna be ways of avoiding taxes legally, of course, but there's a game on it. So we'll see.
I tell you what, too, Mike. Too, the other part about it, Michael says a billionaire, dude. This ain't like we listen to some dude just down the street just talking. I mean, he know how to play the money game. He got money. You know what I mean? So he's smarter than me. Eddie, astrophysicist. No, I mean, listen to me. First with Henry Ford built Ford off of it. Hire people to handle shit that's more intelligent than you. You know what I mean? Don't reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? Keep it simple.
Yeah,
I appreciate it, Mike.
Appreciate you,
man.
Appreciate it. Good. Yeah, so I got Michael Saylor on the screen here, so that so you guys can see who Michael Saylor is, and he's the CEO of MicroStrategy, which is a software company. But once he put a good portion of his company's savings or treasury and it took off, and the rest is history. Now he's like the leading advocate for everybody owning some form of Bitcoin, and he lays out pretty good argument as to why. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike, it's low blood pressure, Corpus Christi. How
LBP.
you doing?
Doing good, my man. How you doing?
Good. I want to advise you, but I'm not on the Bitcoin bandwagon, Mike. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's the thing. And that's the thing. You don't have to be, but you're already in motion. Now it's just a matter where you'll be left behind and will you be on board as far as, being able to benefit a little bit. Because, I mean, I look at it as more getting your weight up type funds. You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to have to get out of Bitcoin and get into something.
If you're going to pump and dump, it's all right, But look, the train is headed for the track canyon. There's no more tracks. If you see it going to fall, why are you going to get on that train, Mike?
Hey, I got some skin in the game. I said I'm all the way on it. I look at it as an intentional vehicle being put in front of us for this exact transition. And so I have no confidence earlier in the chat or to somebody's comment about how I'm dogging BTC. I'm not 100% confident in code. That's just because if it was created by man, then obviously it's some type of flaw in it, and we're going to find out what that is. So I don't dog it, but I'm not telling people and get into it. No, I'd rather say get something physical and use that as your anchor, which is metals or whatever else, and then dip and dabble, if you can, but don't put my hope or confidence in a digital asset. That's for sure.
There you go. That's reasonable. That's good thinking, Mike. Listen, the only problem I got with biggest pet peeve with Bitcoin is you could create a system identical to it. Anybody can. And the only thing holding it is people's confidence. It's like man-made fiat. It's not government fiat. You got government fiat, and then you got big-made fiat. That's the only problem I have, and you can't use it as a means of exchange. I don't care how much people say it takes too long to
yeah.
You know
what we're gonna do, LBP. What we're gonna do, as we talked about earlier, about we'll get you a little bit of your own segment, a Bitcoin fund for you. So I'm gonna put your Bitcoin address in the description so people can donate to you if you decide to aim and join the commentating space. How about that?
Hey, I help you out. Put your wallet. I don't want nothing to do with that, man. I don't need that stuff.
All right, fine. Doing it for the kids, man. You got 6 kids, man. Put it in your kids' trust fund. All right, man. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, looking forward to it.
Yeah, be good. Oh man, good stuff. All right, man. So, all right, man. We hit that 30-minute point, man. Get ready to dial back. Hung out with us tonight. Hope you guys, enjoy the chit chat as well as the chat. And so, as I was talking about with LBP, because he's a very knowledgeable individual. So, we're going to work on a little collaboration where I'm trying to formulate a team of like-minded individuals that want to get behind the mic and a little bit, just because, you know, I want to expand the channel. That's why I'm trying to add all types of things. And so from the videos I do earlier in the day, if I can, I think there's more that we can do for the channel. So want to just, you know, add a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, with that being the case, people, that's all she wrote for this evening. If you've enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button, show your love and support there. And then other than that, we back at it next week, same time, same place. Might have a chance to do something this weekend. Other than that, as always, hope you guys enjoyed it. And the Discord link, as Natural Mother put in the chat, if you look in the description, you'll get a chance to see the disc put on the screen real quick, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's a good way to connect off air and be able to hang out and talk amongst yourselves. So let me pull the chat up here so you guys can see. We got a couple people online right now, but I'll see if I can switch my screens to see what it looks like. So it's just basically it's just a software app where you can connect. So we got a couple people logged in right now. I'm a part of a couple different groups, and we just talk, go back and forth amongst one another, and have some fun. So if you guys want to connect beyond this, feel free to do so. We got Pabar in there, Natural Mama, Tip, 10 pounds in there, low blood pressure in there. So fair amount of us in there to hang out if you guys are interested. So link is down below. Anyway, be blessed, be safe. I'll see you guys later. Peace. Hey there. Sorry for this interruption. But I wanted to bring something to your attention. If you've been enjoying this live stream, why don't you partner with me and be a support to the channel via Patreon membership for just a minimum of $5 a month. All you have to do is scroll down beneath this video here, click the Patreon link, then consider donating as little as $5 a month towards the channel. A little bit of crumbs can go a long way, and I appreciate your support. Now, let's get back to this live stream.